All right, looks like we're live. Let me just make sure this is sounding okay on the YouTubes here. Give me 1 minute, folks. Perils of a live stream. Come on. All right, sounds like it's doing all right. Okay, so I don't even think I have any viewers right now, but it's middle of the afternoon. That's not surprising. Most people should, be at work or something like that. Some of y'all have jobs. I hope to be back in that camp soon enough. So, big story busting up last night. Over at the Communist News Network, as we all know, they were none too happy about Trump tweeting that GIF where it's the clip from, you all know, but I'm going to go over it again. It's a clip from WrestleMania where Trump had slammed into Vince McMahon. Somebody took Vince McMahon's face and superimposed the CNN logo over it, and Trump thought that was funny because it was, and he proceeded to tweet that out, and CNN got their pussies all, sanding vaginas over this, and we're like, it's inciting violence against us. And at this point, I wish it was CNN, but honestly, there are times, don't get me wrong, I'm only half serious here because I understand a dangerous precedent set by it. But there are times I wish Trump was the monster you make him out to be, because I would be hard pressed to find a reason to object to him just sending a bunch of troops into CNN headquarters and leaving no survivors. Just about, I don't know, wouldn't take much. 20 Rangers, 20 SEALs, something like that. Anyways. And no, I'm not actually advocating violence, but I wouldn't feel too sad about it. Anyways, Trump tweeted this out. CNN got their pussies hurt, acted all indignant about inciting violence against the media, when you have to be autistic to not realize it was a fucking joke. It was a metaphor for how he's been curb stomping the media. And then CNN's so butthurt about this because they're such a laughing stock, and they know it, that they found who supposedly originally created this GIF on Reddit and threatened him that they were going to dox him. This is probably like a 15-year-old. Doesn't really matter how old he is, but that does make it worse, I guess. And he apologized and asked him not to dox him. And, CNN's like, since he's a civilian, we decided not to reveal his identity, which should have been the end of the sentence right there, CNN. That's where you should have put a big old fat period. But instead you put a comma because you went on. Because he has apologized and promised not to do this terrible thing anymore, making fun of the great CNN, pulling back the fucking curtain, showing what the great Oz really was. Because he's agreed not to do this anymore, we've decided we will, not dox him. And then they say at the beginning, CNN reserves the right to publish his information should that change. Last I checked, that's at the very least skirting legally fucking blackmail. If not, it is illegal. In fact, Ted Cruz, who, he's a creepy little fucking rat. He is a constitutional scholar. He is a legal scholar. He is supposedly looking into this now. I hope CNN gets fucking sued. Their balls to the wall. I hope this little 15-year-old fucking owns that network in 6 months. A lot of people did videos on this, and I'm reiterating a lot of stuff when I say this. I mean, Stefan Molyneux did a video on it. Mr. Medicare did a video on it. Mark Dice did a video on it, just to name a few that I saw. I think Forney talked about it this morning on a live stream. Everybody's talked about it. It's the #1 hashtag on Twitter right now. Twitter's actually knocked it down off of the side, but I'm sure they did that artificially. I'm quite certain it's still the #1 trending hashtag because we know for a fact our Twitter does that. I mean, this is indefensible. This is absolutely indefensible. And CNN is still acting like they have some sort of moral high ground here. And this is the kind of thing that wakes some cucks up, too. That's the thing. Like some cuck conservatives, initially they were like, Trump shouldn't have tweeted that gift. It's unpresidential. Whatever. Suck a dick. The dignity of the office. Yeah. Because that office has had a shred of fucking dignity in decades. Obama had no dignity. George W. Bush had no fucking dignity in that office. Bill Clinton, for the entirety of my life, the last one I could arguably say had a shred of dignity, never mind his policies, but at least carried himself with a shred of dignity, was George Bush Sr. But I mean, literally, I was born when Reagan was president. Every president has been worse than the last up until Obama, and then Trump was good. Trump's been good. Not quite what we hoped, but really damn good. But no, there's just, I mean, this is the kind of thing where it's hard to explain even to people because it's so unfucking believable. And CNN's fucking proud of themselves. They think they won. They think they won. They have no idea what they just did. They have no idea the hornet's nest they just stuck their dick into. Because that's what they did. They just stuck their dick into a hornet's nest. Now, there's a momentary lull where even where the hornets are fucking shocked by the audacity of it. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I mean, first of all, the memes are already flooding Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias. Flooding. The memes of production have been seized here. Yeah, you punished one guy who made a meme and 1 million took his place overnight. But more than that, I mean, we're talking about weaponized autism on these fucking boards like Poll and shit, where Shia LaDouche puts up a flag, and these motherfuckers figure out where exactly in Tennessee this flag is by looking at fucking clouds and stars. All right, the occasional airplane going by, they figure out where that fucking shit was. They're gonna fuck you up, CNN. They're gonna fuck your shit up. Oh, I mean, you'll be lucky if tomorrow your site, your CNN.com, hasn't been hacked and replaced with, midget cuckold tranny gangbang porn or something, which would probably be a step up from your usual content. But no, I mean, the hell you just unleashed upon yourself. I mean, this is going to make Gamergate look like a polite civil discussion. These people are going to fuck you up, and you have no idea. You sit there and you think you won. You think you won. That's just staggering. Over at the fucking Communist News Network, they think they've won. Oh. Oh, Boogie says in the chat, the memes must flow. Yes, the memes will flow. Oh, man, CNN. And I mean, Trump doesn't care. You couldn't hurt Trump, so you went after, again, what was probably a 15-year-old boy. The one guy from CNN all tweeted all angry. We can assure you it is. Now, that hasn't been collaborated. Or I can't talk today. That's been confirmed. But, I mean, it's Reddit, so there's an 80% chance he's under 20. So, yeah, you have no idea what the hell you just unleashed. Trump doesn't care. You couldn't hurt Trump, so you went after some Reddit user. And like I said, the one CNN guy was on Twitter like, he is not 15. That's ridiculous. I don't care how old he was. You fucking blackmailed him. You fucking blackmailed him. But yeah, oh, and of course, somebody tweeted me. I'm blocked by Movie Bob now. The last few months, he's finally decided to hide behind the block button as he continues his decay, as the corn syrup continues to drown his brain. Um, but they tweeted me a screen cap of Movie Bob defending this, that if you post racist stuff, you deserve to be doxxed. What a sad life you live, Bob. Yeah, I can't even get mad at Bob, and that's why I tweet back at the guy. Just remember that, Bob Chipman will die unmourned and unloved, likely within a decade from obesity-related complications. He won't have children. His family, his parents are likely deeply ashamed of him. If I'm to believe the words in that Mario book, his parents are deeply ashamed of him. If I'm to believe Bob Chipman's own words. Apparently, he started a show with his brother recently, I'm told, so maybe his brother could tolerate him. I don't know. I mean, you're going to need more than that. I mean, you're going to need some strong men to be the pallbearers on that coffin. There's motherfuckers that hit the gym are going to have to be the pallbearers, either that or a fucking, Toyota forklift is going to be the fucking pallbearer. Somebody says even Brianna Wu is condemning CNN. Well, that's pretty telling. When even that dude is unhappy with CNN. I mean, damn. Let's see. What did the book say about his parents? Oh, well, if you read, and I'm almost tempted to get another copy because I sold the copy I reviewed for reaction, just to have it as reference. But if you read in there, there's numerous times where, like, there's one point where he talks about, like, during the day, he would go outside, like, he lived with his parents. I mean, he lived with his parents till he was 31. Never had his own place, never had nothing like that. It barely sounds like he was employed. Like, he was probably extremely underemployed his whole life, if that. But anyways, because make no mistake, this book on Mario 3 is actually his autobiography till about the time this book is written. Like, it's sort of two books. He tells his life story under the guise of telling us about Mario 3. But he talks about in one point where he during the day, his family didn't want him around. His parents didn't want him around so he would go outside and sit in his car and play Game Boy. Like I guess they couldn't even stand him being in his room. Like they just couldn't stand being around him. That's I mean, I'm sure all of us at some point have had an awkward Thanksgiving or two with extended family. You don't always necessarily get along with your blood, but that's something right there. Let's see. Hashtag CNN blackmail will make hashtag Gamergate look like easy mode for the media. But yeah, they fucked up here. They fucked up. Something fierce. Cynic in Chief is messaging me. I don't know if he wants in. I go let him in. He hasn't been in on it. He hasn't been on here in a while. I just saw him a few weeks ago. Actually, he was in the area. We got lunch. If he wants to hop in, he can hop in. Let loose the poles of war. Yeah. CNN fucked up here. Something fierce. I cannot believe that they were this arrogant and stupid all at once. I mean, I guess I should believe it. There's no reason not to believe it, but it's still, you know, I don't know how to put it. There's times when it's like, it's not that something is unbelievable, like you know about it, but to just see it, you know what I mean? It's like you could read in a book how big the fucking Grand Canyon is, but to stand on the edge of it and look out at it is still all inspiring. You know what I mean? It's still like, holy shit, that's fucking big. Where you know, like you can understand intellectually how fucking insane these leftists are. But when they do their insane shit, sometimes you still stand back and you're like, oh, holy shit, man. That's fucking crazy. So yeah, I mean, on one level it doesn't surprise me, but on the other level, I still stand in awe of of it. It's a lot to take in there, CNN. How unbelievably stupid you can be. Jolly Crocodile says, whoa, lad, come on, the Grand Canyon. I thought we'd be having a high tea conversation here. That meme's not going to go away anytime soon, is it? That little personal Bechtloff show meme. Yeah, we gotta boost the tea. And honestly, I was just reading comic books before I started this, no less. DC did a crossover with He-Man and Thundercats that they just put out a trade paperback, and I checked it out, and I started reading it today. It's pretty good. I was never a big Thundercats fan as a kid, but I was a huge He-Man fan when I was really little. Like right up until the Ninja Turtles came out, and then that was my thing as a kid. But like before that, I really loved He-Man. Let's see. Forney says making anti-CNN memes has been scientifically proven to raise your T levels by 1,488%. I might need you to cite that study on me there, Forney, but it sounds about right. CNN deserves to crumble after inciting the angry black kids over the last few years. You know what's funny? I actually remember early on in the Obama administration, there was a brief time, and I never watched them too much, so I don't know how seriously they tried this, but where CNN really tried to be middle of the road. And I doubt, because it was all liberals running it, but they supposedly threw in a bunch of, token conservatives and shit. Their idea at that point, and this was like 2009, I think, was MSNBC is the liberal network, Fox is the conservative network, we're going to be the unbiased network. And, I remember thinking at the time, like, even if they could do it, I mean, obviously human beings will have bias no matter what, but that doesn't mean you can't strive for objectivity. Even if you can't reach, even if it's an ideal you can't reach, you should be striving towards it, Just because you can't be perfect doesn't mean you don't want to be better. But I thought, like, even if they were pretty damn objective, if they managed to get to that point, no one would fucking watch them at this point. No. Everything's become so polarized. That said, though, they didn't keep that up for long. I think it was like maybe a year later they completely abandoned even that fucking pretense, and became, how far it was a race with MSNBC on how fast and how far up Obama's rectum they could get their tongues. Let's face it, Mr. Matoker, Sargon, and Philip DeFranco videos on this will have a bigger reach than CNN would, and the damage will be done once the normies get aware of this. Oh, Rush was covering it this afternoon, too, which I was pleased to see. That'll awake a lot of normie right-wingers, a lot of normie conservatives, a lot of conservative dads, as it were. And Rush has a bigger fucking audience than CNN. So, I mean, everybody is covering this. There's no I'm sitting here talking about it, but there's no way you didn't, I don't know that I have anything to add really to the subject, and you certainly didn't hear it from me. It's not like you heard it here first, folks. I know you all knew about this well before. As I said, Mr. Matoker covered it. Mark Dice covered it. Apparently Sargon's covered it from this comment I hear here. And you say Philip DeFranco covered it. I only watch Philip DeFranco on and off, so I hadn't seen that. Alex Jones has, of course, jumped on it. Cernovich has jumped on it. All these big alternative media sources, big and small, jumped on it, up to it, including this humble, tiny little podcast. Everybody's covering it. As I said, it's still the number one trending thing on Twitter. They've hidden it, basically. They won't put it on the side, but it's still, I guarantee you, the number one, if not at least in the top 5 hashtags on Twitter right now. So yeah, this is a huge fucking thing. There's no escaping this. And again, the audacity of it is CNN is fucking bragging about this shit. It's not like some other news organization had to dig up private conversations between CNN and this person. No, CNN put it out there like, yeah, we fucking threatened this guy and he's not going to bother us no more. People would know this story just from watching CNN. That's the amazing thing about it. Somebody says, I heard CNN did a 3-part interview with the gerbils up Obama's ass. How does a huge corporation come to hire so many unprofessional dipshits? I don't get it. I mean, the bias isn't surprising, because again, everybody has bias, Fox News has a Republican slant and has since fucking day one. But Fox News has consistently been far more professional, at least. Pardon me, taking some water there. Hopefully you couldn't hear me gulping. I moved away from the microphone, but if you heard it, I apologize. I'm not the most professional, so. But no, it is staggering, like how there can be that level of unprofessionalism. Yeah, it's staggering. All right, people messaging me on Skype here. I don't know if well, he messaged me to join. I don't know if he wanted to hop in or not. Doesn't sound like Syndicate Chief is going to hop in. I don't know. Let's see. Going to the chat here. According to Nielsen date from June 19th, total day views for CNN was 668,000. 10th place. Like in all of cable? 10th place? I would have thought at least 1 million. That's kind of staggering. I mean, a fucking angry video game nerd video gets more views than a CNN show. Somebody says the media is the enemy of the American people, that they are. Stealth listening at work feels good. Oh, I used to listen to so many fucking based ass podcasts at my job. As long as I wasn't swearing, I could get away with almost anything at my old job. Somebody says talk about the Jews. I don't know what you want me to say about the Jews, but all right. Let's see. Somebody says Jews treat America like a rental car. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Let's see. I think Ramsey Paul mentioned the kid brought up a certain group of echoing people are overrepresented at CNN. Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Holy shit. Wasn't it like what's it, the ADL, I think, was going after this kid or something, was saying that he should be doxxed or whatever. It's funny too, because this kid basically said, Jews are overrepresented at CNN. Basically, he said there's a lot of Jews here, which is funny by CNN's own standard. I guess they're just as racist because they, of course, made the point that there's too many white guys in Trump's cabinet. But I'm sorry, you're allowed to be racist towards white guys, huh? And we all know Jews are white when it benefits them. Let's see. Can you give a detailed description of what the Amish smell like? I think I already have. It's bad. It's like the Jews treat America like Matt Forney treats the Philippines. That was pretty good, Matt. You got to admit. Let's see. America is turning into a motel. Nothing super interesting going on in chat there. But yeah, this story was just amazing. As I said, you understand that this is what they are, but when they blatantly show their hand like that, it's still something where you need to stand back and say, holy shit. So he says the Law and Order SVU episode of This Win. Oh yeah, somebody mentioned CNN got the wrong guy allegedly. Yeah, there's some info coming out that this might not even have been the guy that created this GIF. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. They basically just said like, oh, we found it on Reddit. We couldn't find anything earlier. Yeah, I'm sure CNN's really good at digging through the fucking deep web and shit like that. I'm sure they really made sure they knew where the first origination of this was. Let's see. So fuzz. I don't know what that's referring to. Somebody says I'm going to purchase a double barrel shotgun. Well, okay, good for you. I don't have any shotguns. I really ought to get one. I got too many damn pistols. $10 says this GIF was created on poll. This is why I think CNN was really petty for trying to find the guy when damn near anybody could have done it, and in many variations independent of each other. That's true. But again, CNN just wanted to find somebody they could make an example of. And they thought they would intimidate everybody else in the silence. And boy, did it not have the desired effect. Let's see. CNN is fake and gay. Yes, they are. Let's see. What else the hell did I want to talk about today? I'm still catching a lot of shit for my my Catholic rants on Saturday and then on Monday. And I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in some of you. I mean, none of you are disputing that what I'm pointing out is true. And you seem a lot more upset with me than you seem with the do you seem, let me put it this way. I wish you were half as upset with the situation I'm pointing out as you are with me for pointing it out. Your leadership in your church at the highest levels are a bunch of child raping Marxists. And I mean, you're not even disputing that fact. You know who I'm talking to, too, by the way. You're not even disputing that. You're mad at me for pointing it out. Well, not all Catholics are like that. I didn't say all Catholics were like that. Not by a long shot. I didn't even say all priests were like that. I said at the higher ups, they sure are. I'd wager, the top 5% of the Catholic Church, hierarchy-wise, it's probably about 90% that way. I mean, those are just some rough estimates, but there it is. So, maybe that's what you should be upset about, not me for pointing it out. And somebody said to me, in the comments, like, well, you have Joel Osteen in your church, and we don't consider you like that for being in his church. Okay, well, first of all, it's always Joel Osteen. That's the only one you go to, the one that nobody fucking likes aside from a bunch of old ladies. But here's the thing: I don't have Joel Osteen in my church. There is no Joel Osteen in the leadership of my church. Maybe in this sort of vague movement I'm in. What the hell? Who the hell's in here? Is someone in this chat? Because I'm getting a weird echo. Let me go back in the window. Oh, Cynic and Chief joining. Okay. Well, hang on. Maybe in the vague movement of churches I'm in. Yes, he's in there. And obviously in the capital C church, meaning the body of Christ, not some building in Rome. Yes, there's all manner of men. But in my church, the leadership isn't like that. And indeed, I left a church where the leadership had grown corrupt, in my estimation. I left it. It was messy. It was painful. I didn't like doing it, but I couldn't have my name be on an organization like that. And therein lies my rub with you. Therein lies what I don't understand. Your name is attached to this organization. Every week, I assume you throw money in a collection plate that funds this organization. And I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, but I don't see how that doesn't make you complicit in the Vatican's crimes. And yes, I'm not going to mince words there. The Vatican's crimes. I don't see how that doesn't make you complicit in it. You sit there every week, you attach your name to this organization, and you likely give money to it, I would imagine. I mean, I give money to my church, even though I basically ain't got no fucking money. I give my 10% of jack fucking shit to my church. And I wouldn't do that if I believed the leadership was even halfway as bad as the caliber of men leading the Catholic Church. That's what I don't understand about you guys. And you can sit there and you can cite tradition and all this other shit that you want to stay for, and that stuff's all well and good. But if that kind of thing is so important to you, you overlook the fact that, your leadership are Marxist pedophiles, then I don't see how that isn't just making an idol of tradition. And you sit here and you can be mad at me for that all you want. Fine, be mad at me. Okay? I sit here with a clear conscience on the subject. Because I don't bend my knee to that caliber of man. And that's all I got to say on that. Cynic and Chief, you there?
Hey, still getting the echo?
It's not bad. I know you're probably on your phone.
I'm actually, I'm running it through the same setup that I had before. So it's the laptop through the phone, through a Bluetooth set. Anyway, if I've got an echo, I can switch out to a different
I think you're fine.
Anyway, first of all, I am so freaking proud of everybody. I mean, first thing I heard of it was Matoker's video, and then everybody just started piling on, and it went from 0 to 120 in just a couple hours, and everybody was pouring out on CNN. The memes were flowing like wine at a wedding, and oh my goodness, it was great. I just thank you.
This has definitely had the opposite effect to what they thought.
Yeah, I just thank everybody. I mean, I got a little piece here that I'm dunking CNN with, but everybody was just giving it as much as they could. And I mean, Cernovich was BTFOing them, and Jack Posobiec was absolutely brutal. And then, of course, Don Jr., who's just almost as based as one of our other alt-writers. He was going after them like nobody's business. And they can last this, but especially if we follow through, if we go after their advertisers, and I've just Boston Market earlier took a photo. Hey, I'm gonna meme it on Twitter. Like, why are you guys supporting CNN anymore? Why do you guys give money to blackmailers? So it's
there's also I tweeted it out, and I don't have the number in front of me, but there's a number where you can call CNN, and you can call them with news tips and comments on news stories. Now, it's all just recorded messages. You're not going to talk to anybody, but somebody goes through and listens to those messages. And while I know it's a small thing, and it's far more effective to go after the advertisers, go on there. And I mean, I left a message this morning where I said, I just read your news story where you admitted to blackmailing someone because they made a GIF on Reddit you didn't like. And I just like you all to know that you're bad. You should all feel bad, and all the bad things in life should happen to you.
I mean, and go online. There's pictures of lists of advertisers with their email addresses and phone numbers. Give them calls, give them emails. If they can't use their phones because everybody's calling in, yell at them and saying, why are you supporting these guys? They're going to pull their ads. I mean, look at what it takes for just some stupid SJW to get people to pull their ads. With the whole force of the internet, and especially with them not poking a sleeping bear, but poking a bear that's still eating the remains of their last victim, like poking 4chan and 8chan. I mean, they're in for a world of hurt. They've only just started on those guys.
And you know what else? Here's another thing. Now maybe nothing will come of this, but it's something to keep an eye on. Ted Cruz, as I mentioned earlier. Now that guy, he's quite the legal mind. He knows a lot about this stuff. He's looking into whether or not they broke the law and to what extent and what can be done about it. Because I mean, blackmail is illegal.
Julian Assange has already posted the link to the New York law, which they very blatantly broke.
So
I mean, we'll see if they get any prosecution off of it, but yeah, they blatantly broke the...
Well, when you have a major senator pushing that maybe prosecution should happen, that's something right there.
Yeah, they screwed the pooch really bad on this one.
Not only have they, just managed to, not only are they going to be flooded with hate, they may find the legal system leaning on them too. And I mean, good. I wasn't joking when I said, may all the bad things in life happen to them. May everyone working for CNN get the worst kind of ass cancer an angry God can deliver.
And no mercy, no surrender. We take them down. We take them out. And no firings. You're not just going to fire the K-file guy and wash your hands of it. Nope. We are taking you all down. Your entire organization needs to be flambéed.
I just saw somebody in chat said, I'll leave a message on there that says, fuck you, fuck your mom, fuck your wife, fuck your wife's gay biracial son.
But yeah, this is our moment to shine, and this is our moment for blood, essentially. CNN's been doing this kind of crap for the past 2 years. Longer than that, but it's been blatant for the past 2 years. Now it's time for them to get all the hate that they've dumped on Donald Trump delivered back to them in spades.
Oh yeah, this is, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, this is even the cucks, you know, even the guys left of center like Sargon look at this and say this is unacceptable. This needs to be responded to. I mean, hell, when even Brianna Wu has a momentary lapse of sanity enough to say that's not cool, man. You know, you stepped over the line. I mean, I haven't seen any leftists defending this aside from Huffington Post and Movie Bob. You know,
well, I've seen MSNBC defending it, of course, saying that you shouldn't make a mean meme if you don't want to be doxxed. And that was, well, if they want to poke the tiger, well,
you know, I don't even think doxing would have been illegal, but the fact that they decided to blackmail, that's illegal.
Yeah. I mean, what 8chan's doing, dumping out all their names and addresses and family members and everything, that's technically legal. It's kind of scummy, but when you're dealing with a scummy organization, well, give them as much scum as they can take. But the blackmail, I mean, there's even a federal law, which is not exactly precisely what they violated, but it could apply and drag them into federal court.
I would love it if they were dragged in, because yeah, their headquarters is in New York, so I guess they're in the New York jurisdiction.
They've got their headquarters in Atlanta, and they've got one of their main buildings is in New York, so it's spread out between. Well, so it technically has gone over state lines.
Well, that's
that brings federal jurisdiction, as well as both New York and Georgia, which there's another Georgia law which they violated in doing this. So yeah, let's string them up.
Yeah, no mercy. Shut them down. Shut them the fuck down.
If they want to take the high road, well, let that high road be a platform. So
they wanted to make an example. Well, an example is going to be made. I also love how when they were all bitching about the GIF, Trump responded by retweeting it from the official POTUS account.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have realized what that did, but that cements it in the history books. It's now in the Library of Congress because it's from the official POTUS Twitter account, and every tweet that the official POTUS Twitter account does is archived in the Library of Congress.
Yes, so. Donald Trump, the man, tweeted this out, and then the office of the presidency retweeted it.
Have we got a blessed president or what?
Look, I mean, there's certainly ways you can nitpick things going on here. There's certainly issues you can take with him, but I mean, the way he treats the media is just, you know, that alone is worth the price of admission here. That alone was worth the vote.
Even that, I don't know if that was a troll or if that was a distraction or probably both. But as Vox pointed out, he pretty well dismantled the Johnson Amendment, which limited the church's ability to endorse political candidates. That's gone now. He issued an executive order suspending all prosecution of that, and so he's been doing stuff in the background that people just haven't noticed because they're all flipping out over his freaking tweets.
There was great symbolism in the Johnson Amendment. I don't think it was as big of a deal pragmatically because it was always the easiest thing to get around. I mean, you know, if your church is allowed to take moral position on issues. So obviously, if there's two candidates that are diametrically opposed on issues, you've one way or another endorsed one of the candidates. You know, abortion, for instance. If you say you as a Christian shouldn't vote for anyone that's pro-choice, well, you've endorsed the pro-life candidate.
Obama was actually going after churches for talking about issues because one candidate was clearly one.
Yeah, that was kind of the
side and
problem with the biggest problem with the Johnson Amendment was kind of the slippery slope where eventually it might get mutated into being able to go after churches for discussing issues. That said, though, there is an inherent symbolism in the fact that no, a pastor, it's none of the government's business what a pastor or a priest says from the pulpit. There was a strong restoration of the ideals of religious liberty there.
So yeah, I mean, God Emperor is doing stuff behind the scenes. So let him work, enjoy the entertainment, and fire away. And people are getting. Some of my friends are just getting tired of meeting all day, and I'm running on 5 hours sleep, which is bad for a lot of people. But yeah, keep it going. Take a rest if you need to. Take a drink if you need it. If you're getting burnt out, then chill out. But otherwise, fire away. I mean, they brought a knife to a machine gun fight, so let them feel the sting.
Well, I have to say, I mean, it's the nature of humanity that human beings come together primarily over common enemies, and I mean that's when differences get set aside. So you're going to see a lot of people with a lot of differences setting those aside temporarily to say CNN has to be punished.
Well, you're already seeing that with both the 8chan, 4chan, and Reddit groups, which are all, I mean, they've all got their differences and they've been sniping at each other in the past, but they're like, we're all in solidarity today.
Yeah, I mean, guys like Cernovich and Spencer, just to name two, guys that aren't necessarily seeing eye to eye, they might bicker at each other and all, but now both of them, no doubt, are all about CNN has to be punished.
And it's not just punished. I saw a list of demands, and guys, that's weak sauce. I mean, we've got them on the ropes. They're going to come after us, even if they capitulate to our demands. And we have to destroy them, make sure they can never come back.
Yes.
This needs to be an example. Once you see CNN's corpse hanging from the lamppost, MSNBC and Fox and all these others are going to be less hesitant to do this kind of crap.
And understand, when I say punished, I am talking the proverbial guillotine here. If they don't struggle, maybe I'll give them a cigarette and a blindfold, but that's it. You got to go.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how nice you are, it means whether you go into wood chipper head first or feet first. So.
But yeah, the CNN has to be burnt to the ground and the earth salted, so nothing else grows.
I mean, when that wall gets built, and it will get built, we're going to need some decorations for the top of it. And CNN's volunteered to be the initial decoration. So,
but yeah, justice has to be met here. This is, I mean, even if you're just some idealist who believes in the concept of journalism and all this quote unquote ethics in journalism shit, this has to outrage you. This has to outrage you.
Yeah, you're already, and we've heard from the light people. We've heard from the lightweights, the Mr. Matoker, the Cernovich, Scott Adams. They're all alt-light, if they're alt at all. We haven't even heard from the TRS guys or from Christopher Cantwell. I'd love to hear his.
I think he did talk about. He's going to talk about it here if he hasn't already. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. This is almost like Gamergate in that this is indefensible. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nobody of any kind of like remotely having a shred of moral character can defend this. And it was the same with Gamergate. Nothing about the initial controversy that sparked Gamergate. Nothing about Zoe Quinn's behavior or the behavior of those journalists or any of that shit. Nothing about it was defendable, not remotely. And again, this is the same boat. Nothing about this is remotely defendable. I don't care if you're, moderate. I don't care if you're alt-light, alt-right, basic bitch Republican. Hell, I don't even care if you're, a leftist. This shouldn't be fucking defendable. There's nothing about it that should be fucking defendable just based on what the hell happened here. CNN
seeing people without
blackmailed and threatened someone because they made fun of them.
And you're seeing people like Brianna Wu who have no moral character at all coming out against it.
Yeah.
If that happens, you've gone way over the line.
Yeah. I can't stress that word enough. Indefensible. You know, you have to be damn near soulless to say, no, this is okay.
So like Movie Bob or MSNBC then.
Yeah, or the fine folks at CNN.
No, I hope, yeah, like you said, I hope them all the worst things in life. Hope they wake up with a horse head in their bed the next day, or well, we don't go there. But
they're gonna wake up with fucking memes in their bed. Oh, you don't like it, yo, dog. We heard you like memes, so we put some memes on your memes.
And yeah, they've been doxxed, so have fun. Send them Pepe postcards. Have their mailboxes flooded with Pepe memes on postcards that they can't ignore. They can't block. Have so much fun with this that you're. This is even more. I thought it couldn't get any better after Trump posted that meme. That made my Sunday, but this has just made my entire week. And
yeah, just remember when that guy yelled Pepe at the Hillary speech?
That was, and we look at that and was like, wasn't that great? Really, that was just the start of it.
Yeah, anytime a CNN reporter is outside and then got talking on the mic, you got to be out there with a bullhorn. Counterfeit News Network, Cox News Network, Communist News Network.
Yeah, even as long you think that it's not going to get any worse for them, and mark my words, it will get worse for them. You're going to see criminal charges. You're going to see put their foot even in it more. And yeah, so you think you're having fun? Well, let's ramp up the fun.
Oh, you want to play? But yeah, See, as angry as I am about it, because again, this is the kind of thing nobody with a halfway functional moral compass should not be angry about this. I do step back and laugh here, and I'm like, you have no idea what you've done. Like you have opened the Hellraiser box, and we have such sights to show you.
So yeah, I'm only one to come up here and gloat with you about it, but now I do have a little something.
Hang on 1 second. I got a robot voice. It sounds like.
Okay, well, I'll make sure there's no dead air. So I was talking with William Rome the other day, and we're talking about how the alt-right is just winning. I mean, they are.
Okay, I'm back.
Back on.
Sorry, but God in heaven, that is infuriating.
Well, I was talking with William Rome the other day about how the alt-right is just winning. I mean, in spite of our stupid little petty conflicts and differences of personality and everything, you're winning, and we need to be grateful for it and enjoy the hell out of it.
Well, I mean, the left is just imploding. The left is,
And you thought they'd go into retreat like we would have done if Hillary had won. We would have gone to retreat. We would have retooled, retrenched, left them.
Because we're halfway fucking sane. I mean, yeah, I would have quit fucking doing this if Hillary won. I was gonna just spend all my free time at the range in the gym.
But you wouldn't want to going around doxing leftists or blackmailing leftists. I mean, if Fox wouldn't blackmail leftists, even with Trump, but especially not with Clinton.
Well, when Trump was elected, part of my initial concern was that we were going to do what right wingers tend to do, and that was we were going to be magnanimous. We were going to reach out. We were no other word for it, no better word for it. We were going to be magnanimous because that's in our nature. Because God-fearing K-types, they want to be good sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
an impulse we have to fight on the alt-right because we want to be magnanimous.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what gives me comfort. Yeah, we want to be magnanimous. Be you just a basic bitch conservative, be you alt-right, whatever. We all have that basic K-type instinct in us where we want to be honorable. We want to be magnanimous. Thankfully, I suppose this is a gift from God in heaven. They're not going to let us.
They're not.
They're not going to let us be magnanimous, and they're going to force us to put boots on their neck. I suppose because I think deep down inside that's what they desperately want. They're like,
well, they're going further than that. They're forcing us to shoot them in the head just to get them to shut up and to stop attacking us. It's like the criminal just beating up the cop. There's nothing you can do but shoot them.
Yes, the game of let's go punch a Nazi. Well, it has a sequel, and it's called Let's Go Hang a Communist. And they don't understand that, but they're gonna.
And like a dog getting the taste of blood, they don't want to do that, because if we get the taste of, we're already starting to get the taste of blood, the taste of SJW guts, and we're finding out we kind of like that, and they don't want to see where this goes.
As Stefan Molyneux once said, white people are really nice until they're not.
Yeah, I mean, we're still non-violent at least on the surface, but mentally underneath, our hatred is growing. The media doesn't realize how much we hate it. Not whether we dislike it, not that we distrust it, that we've got a growing revulsion, hatred to it. And now the normies are getting it. The 80% of the people who aren't rabid leftists are starting to get that hatred of the media, and it's going to come back to bite them hard. And yeah, it will end in the guillotine. It'll end with their heads decorating the southern wall, not because we want it to, but because that's where it's going to go.
Yes, they right now the right is in a position where it's basically just standing there and saying, please don't make us do this, and they're gonna make us do that.
Anyway, so enjoy it, guys. Prepare for what's coming. If you don't know how to shoot, get a gun, learn how to shoot. If you're in a state that'll let you anyway. And if you're not in the state, well, you probably want to get out of that.
Yeah, you don't look. The reason this country has remained as free as it has for as long as it has is because of that Second Amendment. Make no mistake about that. Never let them take away your guns. That is truly a cold, dead hand situation. I can't stress enough how this country's a vast majority of this country's good fortune and blessings have come from that Second Amendment. I mean, we never had to fear an invasion. Basically, in the entire history of we were involved in 2 world wars, and everyone wants to act like it was those 2 big oceans that kept us from invasion. Bullshit. No, it was, as the Japanese general said, that there's a rifle behind every blade of grass.
Yeah, the ocean didn't keep the Japanese from bombing Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, did the ocean keep us from D-Day? Last I checked, we have boats, and they got faster and faster by the year over time. So,
yeah, there's plenty of I mean, we covered that whole ocean distance to go over and bomb the hell out of Japan. You don't think they couldn't have done that to us?
Yeah, but they'll never. There could never be a land invasion except for the one we've stupidly decided to let in. But
yeah, and that's only because of subversives who've kind of preached it and gullible people who bought into it.
But I mean, even like trying to set up no-go zones and shit like that. I mean, even that for Muslims would be difficult because we all have fucking guns. We're not, France and England and all, they handed over their weapons and look at the shit they're in.
Yeah, and we'll see how many of them survive it. I mean, France and England are still going to be Europe. They're still going to be inhabited by white people, but it will either be they go into caliphate and we take it back, or they decide to kick the invaders out and keep their majority country.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Going on for a little while. Thanks for hopping on, Senator Chief. Always good talking to you.
Oh, great talking with you.
Yep. All right. So that's all we got for this show here, folks. I want to thank everyone for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good shit. If you enjoy the show, there's a tip jar down below. Tips of any size are greatly appreciated. So that's all we got for tonight, folks, or this afternoon, I should say. Thanks for listening. Bechtloff out.